beautiful people, and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be playing around with some candy and doing candy groupings, writing expressions for our candy grouping. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Disclaimer time: if I make a mistake, I am human. Just let me know where the mistake occurs so that way I can learn from it. First thing we have here on the screen is some words that you need to know. Now, a term, and again, we're using our own words. So a term is separated by a plus or a minus. For example, if we have 5x plus 3 minus 4, I don't know, plus y minus w. Each one that's separated with a plus or a minus is going to be your term. It's going to be a term. Remember that you always take the sign in front of whatever you have. So 5x is a term. 3 plus is a term. Minus 4 is a term. Plus y is a term. Minus w is a term. Next word we have is coefficient. So what are coefficients? Those are the numbers in front of a variable. For example, a variable is a letter. So here are our variables. Where's another letter? Here's a letter. And here's another letter. So what number is in front of our variable? In this case, we have 5. So this 5 is a coefficient. And then let's look at y and w. Both of them don't really have a number in front, but however, if you're in my class, you already should know that mathematicians are what? Lazy. Mathematicians are lazy. So anytime you have a variable with nothing in front of it, that means there is a secret 1 in front of it because we're lazy. Mathematicians are lazy. We don't want to actually write it. All right. So then that means we have plus 1 as a coefficient and a minus 1 as a coefficient. All right, let's go ahead and group some candy. What are the different ways that we can group our candy? If you watch the video about the introduction for variables, then we kind of talked about different ways that we can group our candies. One of them, we group them by the type of candy. Another way we group them is by color. We also can group them by shape. We can also group them by taste, although it'd be very difficult to group them by taste if you've already eaten them. But maybe we can taste some candy and then group the others. We can also taste them by texture or touch. So we can group candy in many different ways. So again, let's go ahead and review what are the definitions of these. Terms, again, are separated by plus or minus. And I'm going to write here in parentheses, make sure to grab the sign. Coefficient, again, is in front of your variable. So number in front of variable. What is a variable? It's an unknown number, and it is a letter. We put a letter. I can spell. One thing we didn't go over in the beginning of this video is a constant. Now, a constant is a number without a letter. Just a simple number. So if we go back to the examples, which one of these would be constant? And our constants would be our 3 and -4 because they do not have a letter attached to them. All right, let's go ahead and play around with some kitty cats here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kitty cats. Let's answer some questions together. How did we group the kitty cats? So we're supposed to group them Well, I don't know. Let's see. I see Cheshire the cat here, and I see Cheshire the cat here. I see this little cat and this little cat having the same face. So I'm going to group them like that. And then this little guy with his hands raised, kind of by him lonesome self. He's by himself. So let's go ahead and group the kitty cats here. I'm going to say this is the guy with the hands up. So I don't have to draw it. I'm just going to write hands up guy. We have one. I have Cheshire. I don't know how to spell that, but I'm going to do, well, I don't know how to write it. Cheshire. You know what? I'm going to Google it real quick because I want to know how to spell Cheshire the cat. Okay, there it is. And we have two Cheshire cats. And then we have the other cat, which is going to be, let's call him, since these are kind of triangles, I'm going to do triangle face. And there's two of them. So how did you group the cat? I grouped them by how they look, so similar looks. Or we can say same cat. How many different groups do you have? I have 1, 2, 3 different groups. How many kitty cats in each group? So I have 1, so I'm going to, for this answer, I'm just going to say look in circle. Because we already said there's 1 in here, there's 2 in here, and there's 2 in here. Assign a variable to each group. Okay, so we have to pick a letter for each group. For hand up kitty cat, I'm going to do H. For Cheshire the cat, I'm going to do C. And for triangle face kitty cat, I'm going to do T. Now, one thing about variables I didn't say is variables are lowercase letters, not uppercase. So you want to make sure you have lowercase letters. Assign a variable. What does each variable represent? Again, we did that in the circle. Write an algebraic expression representing your kitty groups. So this is how we're going to write our algebraic expressions. We have one kitty with his hands up, and we have two kitties that are the Cheshire cat, and we have two kitties with the triangle face. Now I didn't have to group it this way. I could have grouped it by size. For example, if I wanted to say that these two kitties are big, these two kitties are small, and then this guy again with his lonesome self is kind of middle. So you could have grouped it different ways, but this is how I chose to group it. All right, let's go ahead and candy groupings. Draw a picture of what your first grouping looked like. So I'm going to bring this over here. This is how my first grouping is. So if you watched my introductory video to variables, we left off with grouping these by color. So I have my pinks, I have my oranges, I have my yellows, purples, blues, reds, and greens there. So we're going to draw how this looks like. Now, if you have colored pencils, this is where you need to use them because it's going to make your life simple. Now, I'm not going to actually draw. Here's my green. Here's my pink. Do I have a pink? I'm going to have to use a Sharpie for pink. Here's my pink candies. Then I have my reds here. My reds are kind of here. Then I have my blues. Then I have my purples. And again, it's asking us to draw how this looks like, so it doesn't have to be perfect because we're just grouping them by color. There's yellow, and then orange is here, and we're back at green. So draw how it looks like we just did. We drew how it looks like. Using words, describe how you grouped your candy. Okay, so let me put my color pencils away, and so we can answer that next question. So how did you group the candy? How did we group the candy? I grouped them I group them based on the color of the candy. How many total groups do you have? Well, let's count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups. In each group, how many pieces of candy do you have? I don't know, so let's count. So for my pinks, I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 pinks. Greens, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 greens. Excuse me. Oranges, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orange. I have 2 yellow. Purples, there they are. You can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 purples. Blues, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blues. Reds, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 reds. How many pieces of, in each group, how many pieces of candy do we have? We're just going to draw an arrow because we wrote that in our circle. Write an algebraic expression that represents the grouping that you have done. Okay, so just like we did with our kitty cats, we're going to say I have 6. Oh, we didn't assign a variable. Do you see that? We didn't assign a variable. Let's assign a variable. Orange is going to be O, green is going to be G, this is pink, this is red, this is blue, this is purple, and this is yellow. All right, so let's go ahead and write that algebraic expression. And how are we going to write it? We're going to say I have 6 oranges, so 6O, 9G, and so forth. So I have 6 orange pieces of candy, and I have 9 green pieces of candy, and I have 10 purple pieces of candy, and I have 16 red pieces of candy, and I have 8 blue pieces of candy, and I have 9 purple pieces of candy, and I have 2 yellow pieces of candy, and we're back at orange, and I already have my orange here. How many total terms do you have? Well, how many letters do you have? Terms, again, are letters. So how many letters do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters. What are the coefficients? Okay, coefficients, again, are the numbers in front of your letters. Numbers in front of your letters. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coefficients. And it's asking us to list our variables. So what are our letters? I have O, G, P, R, B, P, and Y as our variables. What does each variable represent? Oh, you guys can't see that. Let me shift that up. What does each variable represent? A different color. Let's do one more. Let's do one more candy grouping. There it is. So on this one here, let's actually group them in shape. Okay, so I'm going to group all of my rectangles or squares, rectangles together, and I'm going to group all of my circles together here. So I'm going to create 2 large groups. We're going to call these a rectangle because they're not all perfect. You want to think they're cubes, but they're not. They're rectangles. All right, there you have it, 2 groups. Step number 1, draw a picture of what your first grouping looks like. So this one here has pinks, greens, purple, blue, so it has all different colors. So honestly, I'm going to take just a few and I'm going to draw them out. So I have a blue, I have a red. Where's my red? There's my red. I have a green in there. just a few, it doesn't have to be. Then I have them here. Here on this side. There you go. Again, we're not perfect. I'm not drawing each individual Skittle out. That's going to take me forever. After that, I have pink, red, yellow, orange rectangles. So I'm actually going to just draw a few rectangles here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just a few. I have a blue one. I have orange. I have purple, so I want to get purple in there. Oh, that's brown. Let's get purple. That is blue. Where's purple? Purple. There you go. So that's kind of how it looks like. Here you go. That's the representation. That's what we have here. Using your own words, describe how you group the candy. So go ahead and do that. So how did we group the candy? By shape. How many groups do you have? There's 2 groups. How many pieces of candy do I have in each group? Again, we're going to have to count. Again, make sure I'm counting this correctly. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I have 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So I have 36 in my first group. And what I did is I just wrote it down here. Let's count how much candy we have in the other group. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. So I have 24 in one group and the 36 in the other group. Write an algebraic expression that represents the group that you have done. Now again, we didn't really assign anything. So here I'm going to say C for circles, because we have our circles. And then here we're going to say rectangle for R. Oh, and do you see how I did that? We're supposed to have lowercase, so this is supposed to be a small r. Let's bring this down. So how many rectangles did I have? I had 24 rectangles, and I had 36 circles. Circles is C, not S. This teacher needs to learn how to spell C, circle. Okay, what did we notice? How many total terms do I have? I have 1, 2 terms. List your coefficients. Again, coefficients are in front of your variable, which we have 24 and 36. List your variable. Variable, again, is your letters, and that is R and C. What does each variable represent? R represents my rectangle shape, and C represents my circle shape. All right, beautiful people, this wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed our candy grouping. Again, I wish you were in my class right now, so that way we can enjoy some candy together. But if not, and you have some candy at home, go for it. You have earned it after doing candy groupings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.